do you think the approach that we have is sustainable? Do you think we can keep up the progress, or do you think this is something you might fall off?
No, I think this is probably the best process that I've heard and been around just because it takes you, slowly. Because at first, like, you understand that we built these weird habits that, to try to reduce these symptoms, so you're like, no, okay, we're gonna take it step by step. And I feel like I have broken so many habits because I mean, I was at a point that I was afraid to eat. Like I couldn't eat. I was scared. And you're like, no, like this and this. You would just tell me step by step, and I'm like, all right, I got to take a step back and listen to him. And sure enough, I did. And yeah, like you helped me out to do that. So I continued and I'm still doing it throughout these months and I'm still improving. So of course I cannot stop because I mean it feels good, just to do all these things. So why would I stop something that's working?
Hey guys, welcome back. Today I got one of my most favorite client, and today we'll be sharing her quick journey, how she made so far, because there's always bumps here and there. All you have to do is stay consistent and overcome here. So first off, Hannah, thanks for being here. So can you tell
Yeah.
a little bit about yourself, your name, and how you found me?
Yeah, so my name is Anna, and I've been having issues with my stomach, especially with acid reflux, for a good about 6, 7 years now. And it's on and off going to doctors, and of course, all they do is just prescribe me omeprazole. And to the point that it wasn't working for me, and even ended up like at the hospital because I had palpitations. So I was like, no, like, I really have to take this like within, like I have to do something for myself. And I did research. So I started doing YouTube videos, like reading. And then I came across your page and I was like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna take a risk because who knows? Maybe this person's probably gonna help me out. I don't know. And sure did. Like, I was
Yeah,
so blessed.
initially when we met, I believe on the first call, you thought it's a scam.
Yes, 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 yes. I was very skeptical, but then I was like, no, like the way that you talked to me about it, and
Mm,
then you pretty much related to me because we both
mm,
had the same pretty much symptoms and whatnot. So I
mm,
was like, okay, he knows what he's talking about. Like he
mm,
understands how crappy I feel. So I was like, all right, let's do
mm,
this. And then we finally had
mm.
our first call, and then we were there for like 2 hours. I don't know how long we took. And I was like, all
Yeah, I
right,
think it was around 1.5 hours.
yeah, it was very long. So I was
Mm,
like, you know what? Let's do this. Let's
mm,
uh let's start this process. And
mm.
I am very, very grateful I did it.
Yeah, totally, totally. And I'm also very happy with the amount of efforts you have put, because
Yeah.
I believe when we got started, you had a plan before with like a pretty big supplement regime. And when I talked, I kind of knew it would be very difficult to follow.
Yes. So previously, I did talk to somebody else
Mm.
about the situation, and this person suggested 15 supplements a day.
I remember.
And it's like, how am I supposed to do this if I'm barely taking Tylenol? Like, I cannot do 15 supplements, 15 pills.
Mm,
So I mentioned that to you. I remember
mm,
that. I mean, you
mm.
were like, no, that's crazy. And I was like, yeah, I know. So I need help.
Yeah, totally, totally, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we work together. And since joining, what would be like the top three changes you have noticed so far?
Definitely the reduction of acid reflux.
Mm.
I lost weight. I mean, since with this problem, I've always had like a weight change. I tend to eat a lot. Well, I used to. I used to eat so much to like, I guess just to ease the symptoms. But
Exactly.
with everything that has, with the process and everything, I
Mm,
had lost like, I mean, I think I'm close to 15 pounds now, that's
mm,
amazing for me. I couldn't lose a pound by
mm,
myself. And another thing, my bloating has decreased so much. So I could actually eat with my family now. I couldn't even do that with them because I would always be with chicken, rice, and veggies. And I couldn't eat any other meats or anything. Now I could eat beef. I'm eating fish. Like I'm having other stuff that I thought I never gonna was gonna eat again, you know?
Yeah, perfect. And what I kind of try to do with like people would be, if you are little bit overweight, will know. Like even by medical definition, I'm also overweight. Right now, I am around 220 pounds. So
Yeah.
I am clinically obese. I'll have to also lose some weight. Most of it is muscle, so I'm trying to cut down. But coming back to the point, if you have acid reflux and stuff, and if you have little bit of fat or a lot of fat around your belly, it will put pressure, and things will come up, and you'll have to lose the weight. And the way we lost it is something I really love because we did it intuitively. So
Yeah.
now you have become the person who can keep up with this weight. And we did it all without any kind of calorie tracking, any kind of doing all of those stuff because we are also busy. But I think we are at a point to lose further weight, we'll have to do those stuff. Like there is
Yeah.
MyFitnessPal. Later in this call, I'll ask you to download that, set it up so that we can track the amount of calories you're eating. We'll track the protein and stuff, and we'll dive into the workouts deeper so that we can continue losing on the weight. And yeah, when you stop filling yourself with food, this is another thing that I noticed to mention was like very common with me. Whenever I'll get symptoms, to ease it off, I'll eat more because
Yep.
eating will push down the acid reflux, and that will cause more indigestion, bloating down the line. That will cause more acid reflux. So a very vicious
Yeah.
loop, really hard to get out of. But I'm like really, really glad you were able to get out of it. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
with all of these health changes, have you noticed any kind of also like mood changes, energy? Because I noticed some of them as well.
Oh yeah. So when I first started, I mean, I feel like my anxiety was through the
Mm,
roof. My
mm,
nervous system, it was just off, completely
mm,
off. So I couldn't even go outside because everything would stimulate me, like stimulate me. So,
mm,
um, and once I started like doing this process with you, I started like, the breathing exercises and then just getting sunlight because I wasn't even getting sunlight, honestly. So I started doing all these changes and little by little, my anxiety started getting, less and less. And right now, my family actually compliment me because they're like, "Oh my
mm,
God, we have not seen you like this in
mm,
years."
mm,
I recently went to a family party, which I would
mm,
avoid people too. So,
mm,
they were so excited to see me, but because my mood changed, like I'm
mm,
actually much happier and I mean, yeah, I get here and there a little bit anxiety, but it's something that I could
mm,
actually deal with now, especially with the breathing exercises. I
mm.
implement those and I'm good to go. So,
Yeah, totally. And this is one of the things I think people overlook a lot. And I think for all the people who I get started with breathing exercise, the beginner one, it's there out on my YouTube for free. And I ask people to go watch it, go watch it. But I'll often get clients who will start talking to me. They'll say, yeah, I've seen the breathing exercise, but they haven't
and
taken any action. So I believe people need to take more action. And the thing about sunlight that you mentioned, I think you're also taking the vitamin D, right?
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, totally. So that is highly linked to it, like nervous system dysregulation, mood issues. So people can just pop in some vitamin D along with K2, go to sunlight, and they will see drastic mood changes, I believe.
Yeah.
And about this one thing, because you have been sticking it for months now, do you think the approach that we have is sustainable? Do you think we can keep up the progress, or do you think this is something you might fall off?
No, I think this is probably the best process that I've heard and been
Mm,
around just
mm,
because it takes you, slowly. Because at
mm,
first, like, you understand that we built
mm,
these weird habits that, to try to reduce these
mm,
symptoms, so you're like, no, okay, we're gonna take it step by step. And I feel like I have broken so many habits because I mean, I was at a point that I was afraid to eat. Like I couldn't eat. I was scared and you're like, no, like this and this. You would just tell me step by step, and I'm like, all right, I got to take a step back and listen to
mm,
him. And sure enough, I did. And yeah, like you helped me out to do that. So I
Mm,
continued and I'm still doing it throughout these months
mm,
and I'm
mm,
still improving. So of course I cannot stop because I mean it feels good, just to do all these
mm.
things. So why would I stop something that's working, you know?
Exactly. And I believe you are amongst my best clients. The reason would be you are able to notice the small improvements. A lot
Oh
of
yeah.
people don't really notice or don't even celebrate or don't even pat themselves on the back. I think you are happy when you even took the vitamin D because
Oh,
you are like little bit, you often forget, you are often hesitant to taking medicines or supplements. But when you took it, I saw in the call, like you were happy. So I think
yeah.
people need to celebrate their small wins a little bit more, even if they can, let's say, eat a meal that they should be eating. Like instead of doing the pizza, fries, they should be just happy if they can do like one small thing. And coming to this, if we take a big picture, looking back where you started, what do you think will be the thing you are most proud of?
I think the most proud of is just simply taking
Mm,
the risk and
mm,
actually completing
mm,
the process.
mm,
I know for a fact that this is not something that's done overnight. Like we're not gonna get
mm,
cured overnight, but I
mm,
think the consistency and the discipline, I think that's
mm,
where I'm very proud of because
mm,
I knew that I had to trust the process
mm,
so that
mm.
I could finally see results. So yeah, I think that's my biggest
Yeah.
accomplishment. Yeah.
Totally. Totally. I think that is also I might have pushed you on the first call. Like, hey, and I can see all of these things as a person out of the cyclone. Like when you are in the cyclone, you won't be able to see your problems. Like I was outside, I can see. So I was like, hey, let's just get started. I was
Yeah.
simply like that, and I hope I said that. So now let's say someone who is watching this thing and learning a lot from you because we shared a lot of valuable things inside as well, if they are hesitant to join the program, work with me, what would you say to them?
I would say go for it. Just give yourself that
Mm,
opportunity to work with
mm,
somebody that has experienced this before. I think
mm,
that's what we all kind of relate
mm,
to this
mm,
problem. It's a sucky problem, we don't know how to manage it. And if you find
mm,
somebody that can guide you how to fix
mm,
it, even to start feeling better, I would do
mm,
it. I would just go for it. And he's so nice. He's really nice and he's patient.
mm,
So I would definitely go with him
mm,
anytime. Like if this were to ever happen again, or
mm,
hopefully not, but
mm,
I'm always gonna come to him.
mm.
Just because I know that it works. It works. So
Totally.
go for
Totally.
it.
That was very powerful. Appreciate all the kind
Yeah.
words. And I wish I had something like this when I was suffering, I was struggling. One, I
Yeah.
didn't even knew I had all of these growing up because I would be in school, I would be in college, and I would get the reflex, I'll get the burn. And I'll feel this is normal, everyone has it. But only when anxiety kicked me in my butt, I thought I'm getting heart attack, which was from the heartburn. And my mental health degraded. I started fearing food. I knew it was not normal. Then I started going to doctors. I knew about the reflux, GERD, yada, yada, yada. But I believe there was no one. I believe there were few dietitians whom I visited, from whom I learned, few doctors whom I learned, but there was nothing dedicated. And this was very powerful. I hope someone really learned something from this little interview. And I would like you to give you like one more minute to share any final things that you think would help someone. Like if I have to give you only 60 seconds, and that's all you have to share with someone with similar issues like you, or like the past version of Anna, what would you say to her within like 60 seconds?
I would say to be disciplined. Don't be afraid of the changes. Definitely, if you're gonna do a process like this, trust in it and pay attention to all the details and pay attention to all the changes. Um, Also, just start enjoying things. I think that our anxiety and depression comes from because we're so away from all the good things. So start enjoying things, and that's gonna help to bring down your anxiety. You're gonna start getting out of depression, and your system's gonna start getting back to like a regulated state. So definitely, definitely just trust the process, and you'll be okay.
Yeah, that was very powerful. We'll wrap this up, but I'll just like to give anyone who is watching a small homework. I think you shared something powerful about enjoying the small things and wherever you are. And this helps rewire the mind. Like when you are with the symptoms, you are constantly thinking about fear, the symptoms, what might happen to you. And sometimes you
Yeah,
manifest that
yeah,
because you'll pay attention to the negative stuff more and you'll be in a bad mood, do the negative stuff more. The nervous system is very linked with the symptoms. And what you shared, pay attention to the good stuff. Anyone can turn that into a journal prompt. Like first thing in the morning or before sleeping, they can write down three things that they're happy about. It can be like, today I'll be happy I drank one matcha protein shake, like right here. And it was tasty, it fit into my macros. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy about recording this interview. So I have two things already. I'll find another thing by tonight. So anyone can do this thing, shift their mind into a positive thing. And anyone who wants to join, you'll find all the details in the description.